now, back to the action with round number 4.
Round number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking around. We've still got Pat Barry on the phone. This segment is going to be brought to you by, again, Woods Flooring and More. If you have an opportunity, check them out, woodsflooringandmore.com. Pat, one thing that we were talking about last segment, and one thing that when you're facing down a guy like Mirko Cro Cop, and I think that the United States public, your typical guy that watches the UFC, that's been a fan of the sport, since 2005, like a lot of the new fans are, they're not really familiar with the epic body of work that this guy really possesses overseas, and now some of the people that know him, they might be saying, well, he's he may be getting older. What do you think? Do you think that he's cycling up or he's cycling down?
No, man. You know what? This is a very touchy subject. This is a very touchy subject for me. Being a fan of the sport, and being a fan of Cro Cop, being the guy who idolized him and mimicked my lefty game from his man, and try to get the psychology from him that I've gotten for me to be a successful competitor in the sport, man. It really drives me nuts when people say that, man, because it's all these people saying that Cro Cop is out of his prime, Cro Cop is too old, and he doesn't have it anymore, he doesn't want it anymore. Cro Cop is the same dangerous monster he's always been. Anybody out there who thinks that Cro Cop doesn't have what he has and he isn't the man he used to be can feel free to take my place tonight. Go ahead and get in there and prove me wrong, man. Get in there and go fight him for me. I don't mind. I will gladly step down for anybody out there who thinks that he doesn't have what it takes. You know what? All the people out there who say that, say it to his face.
Right.
Send him a message and challenge him. Tell him that he's not the man that he used to be. And you know what I mean? That's just absurd, man. Cro Cop is still the same dangerous animal he's always been. He's still the same living legend that he is and will be for the rest of his life. Only difference is that we've all gotten better. We've all gotten better at the game. We've had no choice. I point the finger solely at him for one of the biggest evolutionary phases in MMA, because he got in here, man, and he was just leaving dead bodies everywhere. Everywhere he went, in and out of the ring, Cro Cop was just decimating people like on a regular basis every time he got in. It's because of him that there are guys like me in the sport now. It's because of him that there are guys like Dos Santos and Kenny Velasquez who are just coming in and just walking through people like it's nothing. It's because of him that the sport is where it is now. And that's just my opinion. No one has to agree with me. It's just my opinion. It's because of him that we've all had to evolve in order to get better. Imagine Cro Cop fighting somebody from UFC 1. Now anything can happen. Anybody can win. Anybody can lose. But that's a completely different sport. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Olympia 1970 versus Ronnie Coleman 2008. That's a completely different sport. Cro Cop has turned this sport into something else because we had to. We had no choice but to get better at what we do. We had no choice but to evolve and learn a different type of fight. We had to advance to 10 stages in order to compete, in order to survive with him, with guys like him, with guys like Fedor, man. Like, these guys are still as dangerous as they've always been. It's just everybody else got better. We had to.
I think you're absolutely right, and certainly, I mean, in my mind, Mirko Cro Cop has one of those special places in the sport of mixed martial arts, much like Royce Gracie or Kazushi Sakuraba or
Cro Cop's name is synonymous with greatness, and it's going to go down throughout the rest of fight history and humanity throughout the rest of time. Every time you talk about boxing, 2 million years from now, people are going to say Ali. People are going to say Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley. Like, these names are going to go down in history, like, with the greats of all time. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Cro Cop. This name is going to be said forever. It's never going to be forgotten.
I think you're right about that, and I think that tonight when you guys fight, it's probably going to be one of the most memorable stand-up battles in recent history. I mean, I hate doing predictions, with the fighters or trying to predict, what's going to happen.
I've got no problem with that, man. I think that tonight we're going to see the Cro Cop that everybody thinks isn't there anymore. Reason why is because he doesn't have any fear of me tackling him to the ground. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm going to stand there and bang with him. So because he's got no fear of me taking him to the ground, he's going to be comfortable enough to be able to do what he does best. And that's what he's always done, especially in the beginning before everybody else got better. My striking game has changed dramatically. You're going to see the best Pat Barry ever tonight because my striking game has changed because of fear of falling on the ground because of these big monsters, these big wrestlers out there who can just tackle you and smother you and there's nothing you can do. The Tim Hags that are going to guillotine you after you kick him in the face.
Right.
It's because of those that my striking game has evolved. So everybody can do, but they're going to see something totally different tonight because I don't have to worry necessarily. I don't have to worry so much. It's still on my mind. It's always going to be on my mind because survival is survival. And if Cro Cop gets in danger with me, he is not beyond taking me to the ground where he feels safer. Trust me, man. If Cro Cop punches me in the head, you're going to see the most ridiculous beginner white belt jiu-jitsu wrestler in the world in that cage. I'm gonna dive at him. I'm gonna jump in the air and like do a call and try to, whatever. You're gonna see anything possible for me not to get punched in the head ever again. You know, and this fight is gonna be. I honestly believe it's gonna be what everybody thinks. It's gonna be what everybody remembers about him, and it's gonna be what people don't know about me. This fight is gonna be intense, or maybe it's gonna be really quick. Maybe somebody's gonna get hit and fall off, as soon as it starts. But I honestly believe that this fight is going to be everything that Cro Cop is and everything that I am at the same time. And you know what? If I beat Cro Cop, one, I'm winning just because the fight was offered to me, I win. Two, just because I'm stepping in the cage with this guy and into the octagon with him, I win. Like, this is my own personal thing. Like, to me, this is a title shot for me. The fact that I get to get in the ring with a guy that I'm idolizing and I've always wanted to meet, and test myself against him means that I've been doing something so right. I've been doing something so right that I'm giving this opportunity. Or the UFC really hates my guts and trying to get rid of me. I don't know.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think that the UFC sees two of the greatest strikers that are in the weight class at this moment, and I think it's a perfect matchup. When I was talking with Brian Butler to bring him up again, and he said, because I remember there was a big push about 6 months ago. Everybody was wanting to see Pat Barry versus Kimbo Slice. Do you remember that? Saw it all over Facebook and and I was like, that's just not. I don't think that would be a fight that's going to move Pat Barry's career forward. It would bring a lot of hype because of the Kimbo Slice thing. But when he said Pat Barry versus Cro Cop, it was like, oh my gosh.
That's exactly what I said. Hey man, if I beat Cro Cop tonight, then that's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened, ever.
Well,
that would be a dream come true. Now think about it. If Cro Cop kicks me in the face tonight, then I get to say for the rest of my life that I was one of the select few who had the honor of being kicked in the face by Cro Cop. I'm one of the select few people who can say, you know what, I stood there with one of the best ever.
That's right.
I'm going to ask him to sign my face and take a picture with me.
Well, we're running out of time, Pat, but that is a great attitude to have. It's so refreshing to hear that. I interview a lot of fighters, and you hear guys that, you get the feeling that a lot of guys have lost their love for the sport, lost their love for martial arts, and they don't really have the love for it, and it's apparent, it's obvious that you're not just a fan of MMA, but of all kinds of martial arts, and you're like me, you're a big fan of martial artists, and I just want to thank you for taking the time on this very crucial day in your career to spend a few minutes talking with us.
Absolutely, man. Bro, thank you more just for giving me the opportunity to get my voice out there, to get my words out there, because we all, us as fighters, this is a hard role because we have a lot of misconceptions about us, man. And the more that I get to speak out there to the public, the more that I get to get my voice and opinion out there, the more people really get to understand who I am and what I am and what we are as a whole. Us fighters in the UFC, us fighters in general, us guys who are out there putting it all on the line, they get a better idea of who we are and what we are. We're just a bunch of regular guys, man, with some really odd jobs. That's all it is.
That's right. That's absolutely true. Ladies and gentlemen, please stick around for round number 5. We're going to be coming back with the championship round. Pat, thank you so much. We will catch up with you after the fight, man. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. Stick around, folks.
Bye.